The omega-3 lie. What blood sugar is really doing to your cell walls. Before you spend another dollar on omega-3 supplements or anti-inflammatory health foods, a study published this week in Cell Metabolism just revealed something that completely reframes why so many healthy diets fail to deliver the cellular results they promise. High blood sugar is not just exhausting your pancreas, it is systematically destroying the protective walls of your cells before your nutrients ever get a chance to repair them. The mechanism is called lipid peroxidation, and understanding it changes everything about how you think about blood sugar damage and cellular health. Your cell membranes are biological shields constructed primarily from fatty lipids, specifically phospholipids arranged in a precise bilayer structure that controls what enters and exits the cell and maintains the receptor sensitivity that allows your cells to respond to insulin and other hormonal signals. This membrane is not static architecture. It is dynamic living tissue that requires constant maintenance and renewal. When blood sugar spikes chronically, whether from refined carbohydrates, excess fructose, or the post-meal glucose surges that characterize insulin resistance, the excess glucose in circulation reacts with the fatty lipids in your cell membranes through a process of oxidative damage. Think of it as a torch being held against the surface of your cellular shield. The delicate polyunsaturated fatty acids that give the membrane its fluidity and receptor sensitivity get oxidized. They become rigid, cross-linked, and structurally compromised, what researchers describe as lipid peroxidation products that accumulate in the membrane and progressively degrade its function. The consequences are direct and severe. A cell membrane damaged by lipid peroxidation loses its receptor sensitivity. The insulin receptors embedded in that membrane can no longer flex and respond to insulin signals the way a healthy fluid membrane allows. The cell becomes insulin-deaf not because of a hormonal problem, but because the physical structure of its outer wall has been rusted into rigidity. And when cells cannot respond to insulin, glucose clearance becomes impaired, which raises blood sugar further, which accelerates more lipid peroxidation in a self-reinforcing cycle of cellular deterioration. This is the mechanism explaining why so many people eating clean, high-quality diets, rich in omega-3 fatty acids and anti-inflammatory foods, still struggle with blood sugar management and cellular health. They are providing excellent raw materials for membrane repair. But here is the step the omega-3 conversation consistently skips. Incorporating those healthy fats into damaged cell membranes is an active biological process that requires cellular energy to execute. Your cells do not passively absorb omega-3s and reorganize their membrane structure automatically. The process of phospholipid remodeling, removing oxidized lipid fragments and integrating fresh healthy fatty acids into the membrane bilayer, is energy-dependent and mitochondria-driven. When your mitochondria are underpowered, the membrane repair process stalls. The omega-3s circulate. They are available, but the cellular machinery required to fuse them into the membrane structure and displace the oxidized lipid products sitting there does not have the ATP to complete the job. The nutrients pass through and the rust remains. CoQ10 addresses the lipid peroxidation side of this equation directly. As a premier fat-soluble antioxidant, CoQ10 is uniquely positioned to operate at the cell membrane border, specifically within the lipid environment of the inner mitochondrial membrane, where reverse electron transport and oxidative stress generate the reactive oxygen species that initiate lipid peroxidation. When CoQ10 levels inside the mitochondrial membrane are sufficient, it acts as a direct antioxidant, quenching the reactive oxygen species before they reach the cell's outer membrane and trigger the peroxidation cascade. It is a cellular welder operating at the source of the rust rather than managing the downstream damage. PQQ activates mitochondrial biogenesis, growing new cellular engines with the energy output capacity to power the phospholipid remodeling process that integrates fresh omega-3 fatty acids into damaged membranes. When your mitochondria have sufficient numbers and power, your cells can execute membrane repair, continuously maintaining the fluidity and receptor sensitivity that keep them insulin responsive and metabolically healthy. Mitolyn combines both in one formula, built around this cellular membrane defense principle. It turns the omega-3s and anti-inflammatory foods you are already eating from a temporary dietary flush into permanent structural cellular repair, because the energy infrastructure required to execute that repair is finally in place. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in my description is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. Stop letting blood sugar rust your cells. Check the link in my description for the 2026 Mitolyn Membrane Defense Protocol. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.